Are you ready?
I've been ready.
Don't give me any of your crap.
Come on, we're wasting people's time.
Hi there. Thanks for diving into Two Peas, Same Pod, the humorous podcast of family unity that proves we're all in this comedic roller coaster of life together. Here are your hosts, the father and daughter duo, Eric and Tovah Weinstein.
All right, well, hello and welcome to Two Peas.
Same pod.
I'm your co-host, Eric Weinstein.
I'm the other co-host, Tovah Weinstein.
And
most of your favorite co-hosts. Let me make that clear. Favorite co-host.
And we are a father-daughter podcast.
Father-daughter.
Basically about everything in the entire world.
It's about everything and the cultural differences that our generations face, but yet we're all living in the same time period, so I think it's good to talk about.
Whatever she just said. So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, we break our podcast into 3 segments. The first segment is World Peas, where we talk about the goings-on around the world. Then this next segment is Peas Our Family.
Peas Our Family.
With our traditional Sister Sledge tribute right there. And then we tell a story from our family archives. And then last is Peas of Information, where I throw some hot questions and get even hotter answers from Tovah. Just totally unrelated topics. Zing. And so why don't we get into it for our first segment, World Peas. Tovah, what you got?
I think it's only fitting to talk about the Olympics.
Bum, bum, ba-bum, bum, bum, bum.
Okay, we can cut that short because you did the whole spiel last time.
Yes.
But the closing ceremonies weren't up to everyone's liking. Tom Cruise, where the hell did he come from? I think they were supposed to be handing the baton from Paris to LA because that's where the next Summer Olympics is going to be. Can people slow down? The Olympics was barely over before they were talking about the LA Summer Olympics. So I'm just like, everyone keep calm and peace on. Love the Olympics. Come on.
Yeah, the Olympics are a thing. You know, this past Olympics, the Paris Olympics, could have been here in Boston. This was the 24 Olympics.
I'm glad it wasn't. The traffic already is terrible. And I'm already have road rage. Imagine me when the Olympics are here and all the foreigners, international people are here. And I'm like, you don't know how to drive in this country. I would be so mad.
Tovah is perpetually road raging.
I would be so mad.
She would be, people. So it's a good thing because this way there were no road rage incidences around Boston.
But being a woman and having road rage, you kind of have to keep it in sometimes, especially if it's a man. I mainly get aggravated at the older people. I try not to get aggravated at the older people, but sometimes I just have to give them a side eye. I don't have emotion or anything because you never know what people have in their car. You have to be careful out there. I'm not saying I have intense road rage. It's all an internal dialogue, really. Maybe external sometimes. But.
So you know who didn't have road rage, surprisingly?
You are not in the question.
No, your grandfather.
What?
Grandpa did not. He was not a road rager, but one time he was the victim. Well, a couple times he was the victim, but one time he was the victim of a road rage assault, basically, where some guy pulled up next to him or behind him in a McDonald's parking lot where Grandpa was checking directions because he had a courier service and he was looking to go someplace. And the guy came up to his window and started going ape on him. God. And Grandpa had a loud booming voice when he needed to. Mm-hmm. And he just rolled down his window and in a very colorful fashion, he just yelled at the guy, "Get away from me. You don't know what I have in this car."
That's classic.
And the guy immediately hey man. And he just backed away. Yeah. And Grandpa continued to yell at him because the louder the noise, the more attention it gathers, and it got the guy to back away. Yep. And so I always remember that. Now, one other time back, I think when I was in college, I think it was college, Grandpa was shot at.
What?
On the Mass Pike.
What?
Driving into Boston.
Pew, pew.
And, he got shot at, and he pulled over to call the state police. He had a CB radio at the time.
Oh, my God.
And they called the state police, and the state police came, and...
they get the guy?
They didn't get the guy, but they had to tow Grandpa's truck at the time.
It had bullets in it?
Yeah, it had
oh, my God.
They found shell fragments and everything.
That's you're smiling now, but that's not funny. Imagine if
it's not funny at all.
Yeah, he's cracking up over here.
Grandpa said that he believed it to be accidental because he saw two cars doing a cat and mouse thing on the highway in his rearview mirror. Like you see, they were weaving in and out of traffic and they were sort of racing each other.
God.
And he thinks that one guy just pulled out a gun and tried to shoot at the other guy. And next thing you know, he's caught in the crossfire.
So road rage is not an Olympic sport, so I don't know how we got into that.
Oh, you were talking about Boston traffic and how it would be terrible.
Oh yeah, terrible. But yeah, there has been
Terrible.
There has been a lot of Olympics in the United States, and I think Los Angeles, it's an okay place because it's far away from here, so it's not going to.
Lake Placid, New York. That wasn't very. 1980 Winter Games, Lake Placid, New York. Middle of nowhere. Middle of nowhere.
And what about it?
That's where the Winter Olympics were that year.
Okay, but Winter Olympics, I don't even, no one really cares about.
I care about it.
Okay, you care about when they get in that little, tube and they, curl up and they go really fast down that thing?
No, more about the ice dancing.
Oh, yeah, you love your dancing. You love flaunting around. You love ice skating. You were an ice skater. Figure skater.
Oh, yeah, not a figure skater.
I don't know why I pulled that out of thin air, but I think you were. You have
I don't
a lot
know why
of
you
rhythm.
pulled that out of thin
a
air
lot of rhythm.
either.
When you're jigging at night.
So at this point in time, where we're a few days after the closing ceremonies,
Tom Cruise.
Jordan Childs still,
Oh my God.
still up in the mix with that bronze medal.
Listen.
I'm listening.
I agree. I've heard people talk about this subject, and I think if it was if the time they had what's the word? Interfered with the judges' results, I think if it was 20 minutes, 30 minutes, okay. But didn't they say it was she was 4 seconds too late for submitting her difficulty?
Allegedly, she was 4 seconds too late for filing the appeal. However, according to reports, there's actual visual proof that they got the appeal in under the 1 minute mark.
I didn't hear about that lore.
Yes.
Oh my God! So now what? There's a Olympic scandal.
Well, now there's continuing legal maneuvers because it just is so ridiculous. Really, the Center for Arbitration in Sports, or the Committee for Arbitration in Sports, is so corrupt. I believe nothing that is coming out of them. So they're ruling that she has to go back down to 5th, and the Romanian gets 3rd.
Oh heck no! Oh hell no! You hear about Olympic disasters? Did you hear about the Australian breakdancer?
I have watched that video at least 3 or 4 times.
It's so fun. But did you hear about what she did?
Well, I saw what she did.
No, what she did to get to the Olympics. She has her doctorate or PhD in breakdancing.
Not in breakdancing. She has her PhD in some cultural thing, and it deals with breakdancing.
Yes. Anyway, she has her PhD in breakdancing, and apparently Australia didn't have an official breakdancing team, so she hired her husband to be the head coach and the judge or whatever of this team, so her and her friends could qualify and make it, and they disqualified people from the suburbs in Australia who actually can't break dance, and so they would just slide their cheek against the floor and just smile sideways. Did you see her compared to the USA breakdancer? It was just funny when the videos clipped together. She's terrible.
What is she?
Terrible. It's hilarious.
Was she any good?
She's I'm proud of myself. She scored a 0.
She got outscored 54-0 in her 3 rounds.
That's how terrible she was.
People, do yourself a favor and go find the Australian breakdancing.
Her name is Raygun.
Yeah, she calls herself Raygun. Yes.
She calls herself. I thought that was her name. That's her breakdancing
that's her
persona.
breakdancing name.
Oh my God.
What could mine be?
She doesn't need a stage name.
What could my breakdancing name be? E-Money?
No, it would have to.
E-Money? E-Dollar?
E-dollar sign.
That could be the E-dollar sign. That could be me. You know what? I think I'm going to start signing my name.
Or you could do Eric with your C is the cent, 50 cent.
I'm E-cent?
Yeah. Okay, people don't care about this.
No, they don't.
The USA girls gymnastics team.
It's women's gymnastics.
Most of them are under the age of.
No, I don't know. I think they've gotten much older.
The USA is fine. The other countries.
When I was younger, the gymnasts also were younger. But, the Chinese team always puts on young gymnasts. Mm-hmm. I think there's an age rule now, maybe 15 or older, because they used to come in even younger. Mm-hmm. And that's ridiculous.
After Larry Nassar, I'm not having anyone compete.
Yeah, well,
in gymnastics.
Yeah, Larry Nassar, he can go to hell.
Did they kick him to the curb?
Oh, yeah.
Well, not right when they found out. They didn't
No,
kick her
there
ass.
was a lot of scandal.
Oh my God, I can't with this corruptness. Okay, I guess we round out the Summer Olympics. Who was your favorite competitor?
Who was my favorite competitor?
And you can't say Simone because that's
No.
no.
No, I mean, Simone's a natural.
I like Suni Lee.
Like Suni Lee. She had to overcome quite a bit. I like the girl, Rebecca Andrade from Brazil, because she had an awful lot to overcome.
Let me say something. Oh, yeah, when they bowed down to her.
Yeah.
Let me say something about Suni Lee. You know that really bad beam fall she had that you and Mom were like, there's this trend on TikTok and like just like a bunch of like NARPs do it, non-athletic regular people. They do this trend and they're like, oh, unfortunately, I didn't make it to the 2024 Olympics, and it's them doing like terribly, like in their sport of whatever they competed in. And Suni Lee participated in the trend, and she posted the clip of her landing like crotch on beam, and she goes, "Unfortunately, I did make it to the 2023 Olympics," and it's that clip, and it
2024.
was whatever, and it was funny. And
fun.
she's funny. She has beautiful glowing skin. How do like. Okay.
Is it sweat?
But they all have that Olympic tattoo, and I think some of them look like some of them are like worn out, especially on the swimmers. Like they're constantly in like some of the ring is like gone on some of them. So
Maybe it's the yellow ring and it's just fading into their skin.
I don't know. It's I don't like the tattoo. Do you have anything else to say before I cut you off one more time?
Thank you for interrupting while I talk. We've talked about the Olympics a little bit. I'm okay with it.
Who's your fave?
Oh, who's my fave? There were a couple of people who were fun to watch. The pole vaulter guy who set the world record, who's a kid from, I think his parents are from Sweden originally or something.
Whose junk interfered?
No, that was a
you
different
see
guy.
that?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, there was also a guy who got the pole
Up in his
yeah,
butt.
oh yeah.
I saw that too.
That couldn't have tickled. Oh, you know who I like?
Sha'Carri.
Besides Sha'Carri, yeah, but on the same field of play, how can you go wrong with Gabby Thomas? Gabby Thomas from Northampton, Massachusetts, student at Harvard,
the really
fastest woman in the world.
Yeah, I think that's who I might be talking about. No, she's great. I really do like her as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, and you like the pommel horse guy.
Netarosik, I think is how
I
you
don't
pronounce
know,
it.
but he takes off his glasses and only uses his hands to like feel. He's like blind without his glasses,
Yeah.
he said.
Well, aren't you? How many fingers am I holding up?
I don't wear glasses.
Okay, I know.
You have bifocals.
I try.
You have it all.
Three. It's three different ones.
You have a million different pairs of glasses that all help your vision. Thank you.
I have two pairs of glasses. I have my regular pair.
LASIK.
And a backup
Never?
pair. No, because what I have with an astigmatism, it's hard to correct through LASIK.
Oh yeah, the shape of your eye.
And
well, you wonder
if my ophthalmologist won't get it done, I'm
That's
not
what
getting
I was
it
going
done.
to say. I was like, you never see any ophthalmologist with LASIK. So
That's correct.
Didn't Grammy get LASIK?
No,
Oh.
she had cataract.
I have one more topic.
Okay,
Just
what's
this
the
is a
topic?
quick topic because this just happened. But Miley Cyrus got inducted to the Disney Legend like Hall of all of that BS.
I
What?
saw that.
What? What is that face? I think Hannah Montana had a really impactful mark on people of my generation, and I think she's done tremendous things with her career. So I think she deserved it. But did you see what Billy Ray said? He like called her like a skank and like all this stuff, and people are like, "You let your daughter do go to like photo shoots when she was like Hannah Montana age. Like, who are you calling a skank? Like, you're the one who just did it for a paycheck. Like, blah blah blah." So there's some Billy Ray controversy. There's always Billy Ray
I was about to
controversy.
say, isn't there
He's
always Billy
dating
Ray?
someone that he met on the Hannah Montana show when like Hannah was like when Miley was
Like
young.
Haley Joel Osment or whatever her name is.
Oh, Emily. He's not dating her, but like
She's
one of
on.
their friends.
She was on Sheldon, Little Sheldon. Or
I
whatever.
want to watch Young Sheldon.
Okay.
I want to watch Young Sheldon. I think it would be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I had to say. Go Miley. Woohoo.
Okay, so now we'll move into our Pizar family segment.
Pizza family.
And I think we should talk a little bit about today's experience that Tovah had getting her car inspected.
Oh my God. I was so pissed off.
Once again, people, road rage.
Better to be pissed off than pissed on, I guess.
That's
but
true.
So I guess.
tell the audience, tell your fans
Okay,
what
so-
happened today. Let me just say, for clarity's sake, Tovah has needed a new inspection sticker since January. That's when hers expired. And our schedules got in the way. Or let me rephrase that. Her schedule got in the way. And
I was traveling, quote unquote. when I
and so
told
she
it that.
finally was able to get it today, but not without a challenge. Take it away, Tovah.
Never without a challenge. And my dad's like, "There's no rush. Why are you all worked up?" I'll tell you why. Because I left them the $35 at home that I was supposed to bring for the inspection. So I'm already off to a bad start. Then I do my whole spiel at the gym. I leave and I'm like, "Oh, Dad, like, do you want to record early?" Like, honestly trying to like get out of like doing the inspection. And he's like, "No, like, while you're on your way here, like, we don't know what time they close." And I did look when I got there and it said they closed at 4, so I probably would have been in the clear. But anyway, so he's like, "Yeah, why don't you stop?" And so I'm like, "Oh, okay." I left the cash at home, so now I have to stop at Bank of America. But it's
Oh,
not
so
that
that's
big of a-
why you were at the Bank of America ATM.
Yes, it wasn't that big of a deal because the Bank of America there's an ATM, a freestanding ATM in the parking lot next to Trader Joe's, which is in the gas station parking lot.
It's weird. It's like there's an ATM and a little ATM structure
so weird.
right in the parking lot of the gas station.
Yep. So
Very odd.
it's there. This ATM, no problem. So I pull in, and there's a woman who just used the ATM who was getting an inspection before me. So I'm guessing she was taking out the $35, and you can only get increments of 20, so $40 really. So she's like parked all crazy, and then I had to park like next to her on this whatever. It doesn't matter. So I haven't parked, and then I get my money, I get in the car, and I'm about to hit reverse, and I see this massive 12-wheeler truck. There's already one gassing up out of the ground. I don't know how
Oh, no.
they were doing it.
No. They're not gassing up. They're delivering fuel.
Oh, yeah, because it said no regular and no premium signs at every single gas station, so I couldn't even get gas after I got my car inspected.
Mom never goes to a gas station while they're filling up.
I was so PO'd. Like
But
that.
hold on. But, well, okay, so they're filling up.
This is unrelated. There's already a 12-wheeler filling up, like
Yes.
delivering gas in front of me. And I had to cut my wheel as it was to get around it. And this other 12-wheeler truck comes off of Route 9 and just is blocking the whole section. The back of its truck is behind my car. It's like almost like curved. And I look at this guy and I'm like, and there's like a guy coming out like directing like this truck, like trying to go like, oh, like back up onto Route 9. And I'm just like, why would that guy do that? Like, I'm literally moving I had to move it literally like maybe like 10 feet, but in the opposite way of the other truck. So I'm blocked in. It's like an elbow. I'm blocked in with the ATM. What am I supposed to do? Just keep taking out free money? Like, I can't keep doing that.
It's not free money.
I know. But so I'm sitting
So you're
there.
trapped, basically. You are blocked
I can't
between the ATM and anything
I
else.
can't do anything. And so I'm like, okay.
And you texted
like, I'll
me.
actually help. I'm pissed off. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, why would you pull in? Like, you see, I'm like, literally just got in my car. I'm about to go. And the guy's like, back up. So I take my car.
Hold on. Was the guy who owns the garage, was he trying to help you?
Yes, he was
I
trying,
see.
but he was like telling the guy to back up. He's like rolling his eyes, and I'm like, yeah, like why would he do that? Like I'm literally like I have no idea. But I take my car and I pull in like close a little bit, but he's like at my car, like he's like literally like side to side with my car, like driver's seat. So I'm like trying to reverse in a straight line, and I pull at an angle towards Trader Joe's, which you guys don't know, but it's to the right. And then the guy like fully like backs up like onto Route 9, and I pull into the inspection thing, and I'm just like, and the truck just like sat there for like 10 minutes before anyone got out. I go, so was that necessary for them to block my car in for like literally 10 minutes while I'm trying to be somewhere? And my dad was like, no rush. And I'm texting back, there's always a rush when I'm inconvenienced by someone else. Like, I'm not about to go about my day and be inconvenienced by someone else. Like, if I have to inconvenience myself, like even getting an inspection sticker, clearly I waited a while. That's my fault. It was due in January. It actually was probably due in June, but they give you a January one when you go late in the first place. So I'm just on the constant cycle of January, which I know I should just go in January so I don't have to go like randomly in August and then have to go again in a couple months. But I'm going away. My registration expired. So you know what? I was in a little bit of a pickle, and I'm on my day off, and they're making me do all this errands, and I'm just over it.
Making her do all these errands.
Yes, because I had to go to Dunkin' Donuts this morning and get a large cold brew with no ice black because we ran out of coffee, and I didn't ask you to make me any yesterday. So I was just shit out of luck.
And how is that my fault?
I don't know, but I've been running around all day, and you're yelling at me to get my inspection. Mom got your inspection. You didn't even get off. You're lazy and get it.
This rant has been brought to you by the letter Tovah.
Oh my! By the letter Tovah.
Well, that's from Sesame Street. By the letter T.
What the hell?
T for Tovah.
Okay. And
All
on
right.
that note.
So on that note, we'll move into our final segment.
During that segment, I feel like you barely got a word in.
How could I get a word in there? So this is P's of Information. And this week, just because we're a little short on time, we have one hot question. We're going to get a hot answer.
Gets shorter every single time.
All right, Tovah, how many times have you used mobile ordering on a device and ordered at the wrong location?
Are you just trying to piss me off today? Are you just trying to? I probably could count on two hands, and it's memorable every single time I do it because I get so aggravated when this happens.
People, you all know it's happened to all of us. We've all done. If you use an app to place an order for a beverage or for a meal someplace, you know you're going to end up doing it at the wrong spot. Tell us, Tovah, about the few different times you've done it. The few different times. It's almost a daily occurrence.
The most pressing matter was when I ordered our family's Chipotle, all four of us, a meal to the wrong Chipotle in Amherst. That was what started it off.
Yeah, because we don't live in Amherst.
Because Chipotle specifically, or it didn't used to geographically set to where your location was on your iPhone. So it just did the last location. Even though, like, you're like, oh, home location, like, you check it. No. So maybe I didn't check it the first time. But so that was the first one I was met. It was like $50 at Chipotle, and then that time I was like, I don't even know what to do at this point.
So you could have driven all the way up to Amherst, an hour and a half away, and come back. With
and so we didn't even like call them and be like, no one's coming to get the food. So anyway, and then the most two recent times, they both Starbucks is usually really good about this because it will pop up before you hit exit, and you can usually. It pops up with the ones closest to you. And so I don't know why this happened, but I'm at work and I'm going on my break and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go across the street to the square and get it because the Starbucks in my plaza doesn't take mobile orders. So I specifically go across the street because I don't need to interact with anyone on my break. Anyway, besides me, myself, and I. Anyway, I get there, and I'm like, okay, it's been a little bit, and I walk up to the person, and I was like, oh, do you have a mobile order for Elaine? It's my mom's account, so I always have to say Elaine. And they're
mom's account.
They're like, no. And I'm like, oh, what? And so I go, I checked. It's already embarrassing enough that they're like, no, I don't have an order. I've been standing there for 10 minutes. I go, I order to the home Starbucks location. Like what? Like I'm at work on my break. I can't go to the home location. So they were nice. They looked at the order on my phone and they made it for me. But I called Framingham and I was like, no one's coming. Like if someone wants to drink it, like don't let it go to waste, I guess. And I also posted on my Snapchat story, like if anyone wants to go collect a beverage at Starbucks on Worcester Street in Framingham, like go at it. But I don't know if anyone did. And then the most recent time, this all happened like a couple weeks ago, like both of these times. I'm on a walk. It's like a day in Boston, like a morning when Josh was away. I'm on a walk just by myself. It's early in the morning, so not many people are around on Newbury Street. I'm like, oh, I'm going to swing by Starbucks on my way back to Josh's apartment. And I'm on my walk. I'm like halfway down Newbury Street. So I guess I'm closer to the one, if people know Back Bay, it's like close to the Prudential and like near Raising Cane's and Max Brenner. That's where the Starbucks is, down there. And I go to the Starbucks location right behind Josh's apartment. And I'm standing there for 10 minutes. And I'm like, no, I triple checked when I was on my walk that it was the Back Bay location. And it was the Prudential Back Bay location. So I had to walk. I wasn't crazy pissed off. I was just pissed off at myself because I was like, this is not going to happen again. And it happened again. I can't win.
Well, my takeaway from this is, you know who's at fault?
It's these apps need to change their location.
User error.
No, because I check and sometimes there's multiple Starbucks like within the same vicinity. So I'm like, I'm in a foreign place. Like, I think it's this one.
Foreign place, Boston?
And near my work.
So you better be careful when you're overseas next week.
Not next week.
2 weeks.
Everybody, I'm going to be coming live from Amsterdam, the red light district.
We're going to try to figure this out. We're going to have a special guest in studio.
Woohoo!
And maybe...
as entertaining as me?
And no, probably not.
I know.
But
No,
maybe we'll get a call-in, a virtual call-in from somebody overseas, and we'll be able to hear a little bit about it. But
yeah. Is that Dutch?
I don't
What
know.
is it?
I don't know. That's a wrap for this week. This has been Two Peas.
Same pod.
Peace out.
And peace out. See you next Tuesday, players.
Thanks for listening to Two Peas, Same Pod, hosted by Eric and Tovah Weinstein. Please subscribe and join us next time as we continue to share humorous anecdotes, funny mishaps, and comical observations from our own lives.
Two Peas, Same Pod is produced by 1253 Studios, bringing always humorous and sometimes thought-provoking conversations to you through your favorite podcasting sites. Creative Content and Marketing Director Tovah Weinstein. Executive Producer and Chief Editor Eric Weinstein. Music by MBB. Find his work on YouTube by searching for MBB Music or at mbbmusic.com. Special thanks for the intro, outro, and trailer voiceover to Jordan Rich of CBS Boston Radio and Chart Productions, providing audio and voiceover recording and production, as well as podcast production and support. Visit Jordan at chartproductions.com. Funding for Two Peas Same Pod is provided by the Law Office of Eric Weinstein and listeners like you. Please consider subscribing and supporting this podcast. Until we meet again, this was Two Peas Same Pod, a 1253 Studios production.